All right, welcome in, welcome in. All first live stream since probably post NFL draft, the full NFL draft that is. So we haven't really got a chance to, yeah, I mean basically review anything since round one, which is when we did basically our last live stream there. So we're gonna be talking basically if you're clicking on this video, you're rewatching a ton of just Dynasty rookie strategy. We've already done multiple drafts. We're in multiple drafts. If you're looking for information for your drafts, this is the right spot to be. We've already done our rookie rankings as well. That video will be up tomorrow morning. So if you're seeing this before, our rookie rankings might be up. You can check that out afterwards or check it out now. Come right back. Comboing those two will be very effective. Dan, I'll pass it over to you here. How do you doing?
I'm wonderful. This is such a fun time of the year, having like multiple rookie drafts going. I kind of been like living on my phone on the Sleeper app, constant notifications and trade offers and me sending out offers and, it's your turn to pick and, I don't know. I just love it. It's just such a fun time. And it's also just fun. I mean, the NFL draft really just happened. So I think a lot of people are still kind of figuring out their values, which players they like. It's still kind of early enough in the process that, that consensus is still kind of settling in and isn't like totally solidified yet. And so it is like a great opportunity to get some values before the consensus kind of solidifies and people like figure things out. Because I remember like one thing last offseason was a common thing that came up in our conversations, particularly later in the offseason. We would often say things like, oh, well, like earlier in the offseason, you were getting this value in rookie drafts, but hey, those days are over. People figured it out and now he's going much higher in rookie drafts. That was a common thing that came up in our conversation. So I really think that's something not to overlook. Like this is the time to really get some great values on rookie drafts before people figure things out. So if you can kind of beat people to the punch there, like now's the time to take advantage of these market inefficiencies because a lot of them will be corrected as the weeks and months go on here.
I already feel like there's already market, inefficiencies being corrected in live time right now, which is why I think this video or live stream, I guess, is so important. Talking the strategy because I am still seeing tons of variance in the picks, and I don't even want to say like tons of bad picks, but maybe like I don't know, just not the picks I would make. I mean, really, like, who am I to say, like, in this class, like
questionable? We'll call them
questionable. I mean, who am I to say that someone's making a bad pick in like the late? I mean, come on, like.
Some of these picks are just like objectively bad. Bad. I mean, let's call a spade here, but yeah, a lot of it is subjective. So I hear you.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, here's the thing: is that I do think when ADP solidifies, we're probably drafting more closer to that final, ADP than the people what they're doing right now, in general.
Yeah, I don't think we're quite there yet. So yes, like some of these inefficiencies are being corrected, as we speak, but there are definitely still a lot of values. I mean, I'm continually amazed at like how the heck did this player fall there? I mean, I remember Blake, we were talking like earlier today about all these tight ends that were falling to me in this 0.75 tight end premium league. I'm getting Raritan in the 4th round. I'm getting Delp in the 4th round. And you text me back and you're like, who the hell are, all your other league mates drafted in this league? You know what I mean? And I listed off some of like the questionable picks, and it was just like the grossest names. I'm trying to remember some of them now, but it was like, what's that? Like receiver Coleman, was he like the Dolphins receiver? And what were some of the other guys? Just some like, random running backs and the Jets backup quarterback and, just, I forget all the names, but it's just some like really like gross names that like really had no business going before tight ends like Raritan and Delp in a higher tight end premium.
Yeah, people are taking like backup. Well, I don't know, like fourth string running backs that are free
Right.
agents and stuff like that. And it's like,
Right.
well, maybe we should draft the third round tight end that actually might see some playing time and maybe has
Right.
some particular skill set in the pass game.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I think that's a huge tiebreaker, honestly. I mean, in this like crazy uh, rookie draft this year with this, questionable draft class, and it's just kind of being like no man's land from like the 201 to the 412, basically. I think a huge tiebreaker. I mean, it's always something of a tiebreaker, but I think it's even more important this year is how quick and clear and easy is the path to opportunity for this rookie? Like, how many injuries is it going to take? How many like different, unlikely things need to happen for this player to gain value and come into fantasy relevance? I think that is a huge differentiator. And, that's what's guiding me toward players like Antonio Williams. I mean, even guys like Kalen Black, the Broncos running back. I don't know why his name's
Coleman.
slipping my mind here. It's late. Oh, Jonah Coleman, of course. Like the Vikings running back Claiborne. I'm looking for these quick pass where it's like, okay, this is an open backfield or this is an open quarterback room, like the Browns quarterback Green. Like, could there be less competition? Like I have no clue whether Green's going to be anything. He might be the next Dorian Thompson Robinson for all I know, but maybe he's something better than that. I mean, like we're probably going to get the chance to find out. Like if he can do anything, he's probably going to start some games this year. So these are the kind of players that I'm looking to draft, and I can't believe how late some of them are falling over some other guy who needs like 3 injuries ahead of him just to have a chance.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, yeah, we should talk, get into more specifics here of, the strategy. And basically, that is one I'm looking at every rookie season is basically, I mean, I would say actually just in general, especially when you're looking at these like later round guys, draft based off who you think could do anything this year, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what led us to getting a lot of so much Woody Marks last year, which, again, maybe right now you're not looking at him as a big win. We sold him in like, damn near every league. I mean, you were selling him like he was ranked like the 201 value at one point in the season. Like that's a pretty big win for a guy, and he gave you some starts. So
yeah, and you and I mean, we love Woody Marks, but at the same time, like we knew that, like it's never going to get any better than this. I mean, we were bending over backwards to sell him and cash out, and it seemed like a pretty easy and obvious decision, honestly. I mean, it wasn't even like that hard. I mean, you just have to know when to sell these guys.
Yeah, I literally sold him on a running back needy team on a championship run for a late second, knowing that like if for some reason I need him, I have like I could just start Kenny Gainwell or some random other player at the time that will just do the same thing. It's just that this is the last chance to get on like a Woody Marks. So, anyways, with that being said, like draft these guys that can do something. When you're in these like late rounds, try to think less on. I don't want to say like upside, like what they could be, but like if they're never gonna see the field, you'll never see their upside. I mean that's like if you have been playing Dynasty, you'll see that. So. Maybe like my one exception to that for a player this year is like Cole Payton, who I don't know how he's gonna see the field. Andy Dalton, Tanner McKee, but I just think he's like a fun enough player to just like I don't know, like close my eyes on and draft in the 4th round of this year. But the rest of I mean, maybe we should just talk to begin here. Actually, with just some 4th round kind of targets. Again, kind of spoil a little bit of the rookie rankings. I think there's a couple I'll point out 2 running backs right now I don't even really see getting drafted or just like very, very late 4th round. If you can draft a running back ever in rookie drafts in the 4th round that potentially are a handcuff, especially to a really good running back at a good offense, pretty attractive. So for like these 2 guys that are completely on the radar, Adam Randall and Seth McGowan, I think they're just like flying completely under the radar right now. I think those backfields are like wide open to have the backup job. Obviously, Kalen Black is another name in that range. He should be going ahead of those guys every time, though, of course. So, I mean, those are some running backs that just like do not let those guys go undrafted if you have a 4th round pick, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think there's a decent chance that Randall could kind of become the Derrick Henry handcuff, and then what's his name? It's so late, like my brain's not even working right now. Justice Hill, just stays as more like the third down back, and then if they have room to keep Rasheen Ali on the roster, I think Ali will be like the Justice Hill handcuff. I could kind of see it like that. So I mean, Randall could be, the direct Derrick Henry handcuff. He kind of seems like a somewhat similar player in a way. So yeah, I like Randall, and oh yeah, the Colts backup. I mean, you know,
Oh,
Giddens is solid, even though we didn't like see much as a rookie, but he was at least a solid prospect. Maybe he improves going into year two and becomes like the clear handcuff, but it's certainly going to be a competition between him and was it McGowan? Is that how you say it? So yeah, and same with Black. I mean, like, don't forget about Jordan James. Like, he's still in the mix. I wouldn't like cut him or anything like that or assume he's dead. But Kalen Black, I mean, he's one CMC injury away from being in the conversation as the potential Christian McCaffrey handcuff. So yeah, that is really appealing. So again, it comes back to like all three of those players are one injury away from being potentially very relevant, and on all three of those are really good offenses where it's really important to, I mean, you want your running backs to be on a good offense. I mean, because when you're up big, you're not going to run the ball as much, and if your offense stinks, you're not going to have scoring opportunities. So yeah, those are three very appealing handcuffs that you can get for pretty dirt cheap in these rookie drafts.
yeah, exactly. So let's talk about maybe more like kind of the draft board. Assuming you're in a 4 round rookie draft. I mean, if you're not in a 4 round rookie draft, you're in a 3 round or whatever. Just okay, ignore the 4th round part or entertain us there for a little bit. But let's start at the top. Let's start in the first round here. Um, you know, I mean, I guess let's just start with Jeremiah Love. We talked a little bit in our rankings video again that will be up tomorrow. Um, are you trading up for Jeremiah Love? Do you think it's worth it basically with the price tag? Obviously, it's very, very, very high. Let's just really quick begin with just like the one-on-one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, here's the thing. I definitely want to have shares of Jeremiah Love. I'm not sure if trading up for it in most cases is going to be a good move, just because the price is so absurd. It's so
Yeah.
astronomical. And especially like on the clock. I mean, that manager is just expecting like an absolute like king's ransom. Now, there are going to be exceptions to that. I mean, you made a trade for Jeremiah Love. Did that just go down today or was it yesterday? Recently, whatever it
Yeah.
was. I think it was maybe
Yesterday.
yesterday. Um, but I mean, I thought you paid a pretty reasonable price, and it's a star 10 league, so it's not like crazy deep. So I think you could justify maybe paying a little extra. But I don't know. You can give more details on the trade, but it was basically like 3 firsts. Maybe there was like a tiny bit extra thrown on top. Um, but you moved like Devonta Smith and what was it, like the 107 or something like that, and then some other thing like worth a
A
first.
27 first.
27 first. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a fair offer. I mean, I can see why the other person would do it, especially if they were kind of rebuilding. So yeah, definitely could have been a win-win trade there. So yeah, I think that was fine, especially if your team has a high amount of total value where you can justify making a luxury purchase like this. So yeah, I think in a situation like that where you're not like overpaying, but you're just kind of paying the fair market price.
Mhm.
Yeah, like, totally on the right team. Like, yeah, I'll definitely do that where it makes sense to. But on most teams out there that aren't necessarily like high total value and what it's going to cost, like especially on the clock, in most cases, I'm just not going to do that. Doesn't hurt to explore. Doesn't hurt to send an offer and negotiate a little bit. But in most cases, I just find myself like, I don't even want to bark up that tree. Like, I just
Yeah.
know, like, I'm just like climbing an uphill battle. And, so, I'm trying to manage like 20 different dynasty leagues. I don't always have the time and energy to mess with that. So sometimes I kind of pick my battles a bit.
Yeah. With Love, I think the easy way to put it, don't trade up for him in general if you don't. Yeah, if you're not like a plus value team, if you are like,
Yeah.
I mean, already struggling or even just in the middle, not going to be a good choice probably for your team. if you have been accumulating value, maybe you're coming out of a rebuild, and maybe you don't have the 101. I think that could be a good opportunity, to potentially, have all the assets to get them. And one thing I would say is if you can get them with like three, I guess they're like kind of like three. Okay, I don't know. There's no 33-cent coin.
I think I know what you're saying.
But
like,
if you get them like
first
three pieces that are like nowhere near worth Jeremiah Love,
yeah,
that is that's the deal. What we just made, Matt and I.
right.
We did not give up any like complete legitimate top. I mean, none of those assets. I mean, depending on pending the 27 first, none of those assets right now would even go in the top 6 rounds right now of Dynasty startups. Maybe at tops that's 2 7th rounders and a 27 first. So like,
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like you're giving it's not like one of those 3 pieces is like Luther Burden or Kenneth Walker or like something like that. It's like Devonta Smith. I mean, where's he going in startups? Like 6th, 7th
probably
round?
Probably 6th round now, yeah. Or at least,
yeah, so if you're giving up like 3 pieces that are more like in that range, like even if they're technically like worth a first or a late first or, that's where it's a lot more appealing. So I think you have to be very selective about which 3 pieces you're choosing to kind of total that 3 firsts, of credit.
Yeah, and like I guess like the cheaper the buy-in kind of league, like this was like a cheaper buy-in, and we're co-managed, so it's just kind of like, I mean, really it's just more like YOLO to league like this, because the thing is like that's not even just like a lazy, I don't know, maybe like an argument or strategy. It's just that people value running back so much in that, so to like even be able to trade for Jeremiah Love without like absolutely bending over, like that's good enough for me in a league like that. Yeah, so I don't know. I think I maybe like covers a little bit of Jeremiah Love. Be a reasonable trading from him. If you're trading off of him, you should be. Yeah, I mean, I think I said it in the YouTube video. You should be asking the world to come off Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
The one thing, and yeah, I guess the thing I'll finish with Jeremiah Love is the reason to trade for him if you're not sold, and you can get him at like a just semi-attainable price, is that go try to trade for Bijan, go try to trade for Gibbs right now, especially like specifically those 2 players.
Right.
The owner that has them will not want to move them.
Yeah.
If they do want to move them, you will not want to pay that price. So like getting Jeremiah Love right now, maybe getting Genty right now, are like the 2 gateways to like getting, I mean, basically a near guaranteed player of that caliber. So.
Yeah, imagine if you can like go back in time and like buy Bijan or Gibbs, before the rookie season or before going into year 2 where, they're about to break out or whatever. Like that's basically what Love and Genty are right now.
Yeah, you're getting 4 years younger.
Really expensive, but they're gonna go from being expensive to being unattainable soon. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about Love is that, I mean, just kind of based on how recent rookie seasons have gone for running backs, he's probably not going to have like some elite Saquon Barkley level type of like rookie season.
Yeah.
It is possible though. We shouldn't just completely discount that and say it's like, okay, not even in the range of outcomes. It's in the range of outcomes, but it's unlikely. He's more likely to have like a Bijan or Gibbs kind of level rookie season, which means like good, useful, but like not winning you the league probably. I mean, maybe if he gets hot at the right time, it's possible. So you might have to suffer through that a little bit with Love, but
which I'm fine with, by the way,
because like he's only going to get more expensive, and once he is producing elite numbers, like that's when he becomes unattainable.
Yeah, which I'm fine with, because you just look again at Genty, who like we were like saying to start hilarious names over him at the end of the season, and rightfully so, because you couldn't even start him. Although
I said to start him in that horrible matchup. Who was it against? Like the Texans or whatever, who had like the best run defense. I forget what team it was.
And that's the game he like randomly went off on. Like
yeah, and I predicted it. Remember, because this is the new cheat code for anyone that hasn't heard me talk about this yet. You'll definitely be hearing this a lot in season when we're doing all of our start sit streams. But this is the ultimate cheat code. When a highly talented, borderline elite player in fantasy is in a slump, and then they're going up against like the toughest possible matchup. Like, okay, this defense is like number 1 against stopping running backs this year, or like whatever. it's like a guarantee they're going to go off. I mean, it's like clockwork. I mean, it's like unbelievable. It's like, I'm telling you, that is the cheat code. So I knew Genty was going to go off in the fantasy playoffs in that like horrible matchup. I mean, it's just, I've seen it too many times.
Yeah, and he was just like literally unstartable before. And I mean, despite all that, look at his dynasty value. Again, he's like unattainable, basically unattainable right now. So, I mean, it is an extremely safe. I mean, basically nothing can happen to Jeremiah Love unless he like actually has a physical injury. I mean, we can't predict that. That's like the only thing that could like ruin this asset. So, yeah, I mean, the upside is basically all upside when you invest and pay highly for an asset like that. Because what if he doesn't have the Bijan rookie season? What if he is closer to the Saquon rookie season? Then, yeah, I mean, then he might be the literal number one player in Dynasty. I mean, in this economy. So, yeah, probably enough about Jeremiah Love, but.
Hey, yeah, one other thing I just want to say, we got 4 people watching right now. Yeah, we're probably not going to have like a huge audience for this stream. I mean, it's like 2 a.m. here on the East Coast. Oh, sorry, I just got distracted for a second. But if you could do us a huge favor and drop us a like, help the algorithm, help YouTube push this out to new viewers. We could use all the help we can get when we're streaming this late on what day is it even? Like Tuesday, technically Wednesday morning. Yeah. So if you are enjoying the stream and getting some value out of it, help us out. Be so kind. Drop us a like. Definitely make sure you're subbed if you're not. But yeah, great to have everyone that is here watching. And we do have we got Teddy Cook in the chat here. He says, thoughts on the Drake May trade I got through. I gave Drake May a 28 second. I received a 27 first. Jaden Daniels, Harold Fannin. What do you think of that, Blake?
Well done. My God. Yeah, you absolutely cooked. I mean, I would do that deal without the 2027 first in it, or without Harold Fannin in it, without a doubt. I mean, I would almost see. Okay, I have Drake May ranked above Daniels because everyone else, because of respecting the market. These guys should be. I mean, there really should be no difference in these guys, in my opinion, in rankings. So yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think I got to call Teddy out here. I don't think this is a legitimate question. I think he just came here to brag about this incredible trade he just made. I mean, you absolutely cooked on this one. I mean, that is truly unbelievable. I mean, I feel like you got damn near double the value in return. Yeah. Like, that is insane. So I don't even need to ask what the format is. Like, in any format, you absolutely crush that trade. Like, very well done.
Yeah, I mean, I love seeing the Harold Fannin. Basically there's a throw-in in there. So, yeah, I mean,
oh my God, well unbelievable. Done. Unreal. Yeah, bravo.
Yeah. And let us know if you guys are watching. Any other questions. Like, if you have, maybe a draft trade, you want to know who to take. Again, remember those rookie rankings are coming out tomorrow in the morning. Keep an eye on. Make sure you're subscribed with that for that. But let's move on to the first round here. Basically, let's not try and talk too much about Jadarian Price here. Let's try to talk about this next tier of players. There were 3 receivers. You got Jadarian Price. You got Mendoza. Again, we'll talk about in our video how we have split up the tier. Basically like the 3 receivers and then kind of everything else after.
Although I have Price in the same tier as the receivers.
Yeah. Do you want to give your? I don't know that we need to talk too much about the receivers. I feel like everyone is talking about receivers. Jadarian Price is a little more interesting of a topic.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Price. Try to sell me on Price. I'll try to give you a counter realistic argument because I do like Price. I did just trade out for him. I'm willing to take him. Let me hear your Price stance here.
Yeah, I mean, I think basically the elevator pitch on Price is it is a running back, which is a scarce position in a time period of Dynasty of these past 2 years where running back is back. Running back is king again in Dynasty. Wide receivers, meanwhile, are pretty much a dime a dozen these days. I mean, if you look at a war graph of wide receivers from last season, I mean, it is like the flattest line you have ever seen in your life. There's really no difference. Like, after the top few wide receivers finishers last year, it's just everyone else is just the same, just this gradual, very flat looking line. So, I mean, it's a position where it's really hard to find a true difference maker that's going to give you a weekly advantage and actually win you a league. So running backs are much more what win leagues these days. I mean, that's what it feels like to me. And I think war graphs would back that up to a large degree. Of course, it depends on the format a bit, but just talking about the typical league, 12 teams, start 10, PPR, super flex, half tight end premium, whatever. But yeah, back to Price. So yeah, he's a running back. He gets first round draft capital, which is a rare thing these days. The hit rate for first round running backs is pretty damn good. I mean, it's one of the surest things in Dynasty. It's even sure when it's like a, top 10 in the first round, like Jeremiah Love and, all these other guys, Bijan and, I think Saquon was top 10 as well, those kind of guys. But still, I mean, you could say it's 32. It's still first round draft capital. The hit rate is high. And Jadarian Price, I mean, the film guys love him. I love him. I mean, like when I watch this guy, I mean, I'm just like, holy cow. Like, I mean, it looks like Kenneth Walker 2.0. I just love the way he plays. I mean, he's like a professional running back. He's explosive. But he actually has great vision. I just think he can play the position really well. He knows just the right angles to take, or he's not going to get caught from behind. Even though when he runs the 40, it was only like a 4.4. But when you watch him, it's so much better than that. He's shifty as well. I just love everything about him. And then to cap it all off, he goes to the Super Bowl champs, solid offense. And he's the guy. There's no competition there. Zach Charbonnet tears his ACL late in the year. He's not going to be back until like week 11 or something like that. Price is going to have the entire backfield to himself. There's not going to be much that stops him from getting a full workload, potentially getting goal line carries, potentially getting some work in the receiving game, even though he didn't, Notre Dame didn't do that a lot with its running backs in college. And the very final thing, and I'm sorry to be going off so long here, but if you just think about how, most people play Dynasty, certainly how Blake and I play Dynasty, maybe you play Dynasty this way as well. We play the market, we buy low, we sell high. And if you make the bet on Price, he's a lot more likely to give you early returns and bigger increase in value than even someone as awesome as Mekhi Lemon, probably even Jordan Tyson. Like, what are you really expecting from these receivers the first 6 weeks of the season, the first 8 weeks of the season? Probably not a ton. I mean, think like Ted McMillan first 8 weeks of the season last year. I mean, certainly he's going to hold his value. It's not like people are going to be panicking and like, oh, I got to get rid of this guy now. But he's not really giving you any big wins. You're just kind of storing your value there. Meanwhile, Price, if he starts the season hot, which he easily could, people are going to be bending over backwards to get Jadarian Price. His value is going to increase. And at that point, you could even sell him high and, get a really good receiver plus something on top. So that's just how I like to play it. Yeah, I mean, I think he's awesome. I love everything about him in his situation. That is the elevator pitch. It was a long elevator ride.
That's right. Yeah. No. Okay. I'll tell you my perspective. I don't know. Maybe I will. I guess Teddy is in here. He's actually chiming in. Let's read Teddy's comment here versus Price feels like a 105 pick depending on the league. Anything that isn't a super flex 6-point passing TD, he probably goes before. Yeah, Mendoza. I mean, if you're not in super flex, you absolutely I mean, no one even cares about Mendoza in that case. And yeah, in 4-point passing touchdown league, we talk about that in our rankings video. I mean, quarterbacks, that really devalues quarterbacks when you're in 4-point passing touchdown. So yeah. I can definitely get behind that. I would say I'm really not anti-Price now. The one thing is, I just traded up for him. I mean, really, I thought it was a pretty good price to move one spot up to secure him on a team that needs a running back. Oh, yeah. I moved from the 107 to 106, pay like a 212 and a fourth. I thought that was pretty reasonable to just get him. That's issue, especially with having him, in the tier with those top receivers, is you look at, number one, I mean, it doesn't matter what you think about Rome Odunze or these other Marvin Harrisons. You look at receivers with that draft capital, you are obligated to do zero, and you will basically be valued in a realm of where these guys are being valued right now. I mean, these guys aren't even that much higher than Rome Odunze and Marvin Harrison Jr. They're we have 2 top 8 receivers in this class. They just need to not tear their ACL or something to just hold value, and all they can do is gain value, in my opinion, pretty much. Now, are you going to get the utility of a Jadarian Price on them? right away, like, yeah, I wouldn't expect that. But I will say, like, in the grand scheme of things, even though I like playing the market, that is like half a season or something, or potentially a season. But like, I'm not gonna worry about the first few weeks of like some extremely talented players like prospect, because like even you could say that about Love too. It's like I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know that Love is gonna be 100% effective. I can also say that about Jadarian Price, because the thing about Jadarian Price that I definitely think you're overlooking, at least on him as a prospect. Well, number one, like, yeah, I guess, he went 32nd. The Seahawks were actively trying to trade out. The issue was there was like 6 rapid trades ahead of them, so they got screwed. They had to pick him there. They didn't even want to pick him there. So we know he's a second round like caliber player. They got screwed. Like, did you not see that there was 6 trades rapid, one after another after another? They literally said they were trying to trade back. They could not trade back. They took their best player on the board. So,
I mean, who even cares? I mean, even if he was drafted early second round,
yeah.
I mean, it really wouldn't change much. I guess I'd have less of a bragging point.
It's less of like
round,
it's
like,
an arbitrary
honestly,
threshold.
It wouldn't even like change that much for me.
It's an arbitrary threshold, but he's like, okay, if you move back one spot, he's in the second round. It's still a nice spot. It's still a nice spot to be drafted. The issue is he's literally like the worst. I mean, he's obviously going to be the worst running back prospect analytics wise. I mean, he barely. We don't even have much sample of him. I mean, he had like just abysmal like receiving stuff, and like so like the issue with him is like he could pay off his price tag easily if he like ran if they use him and the receiving game. If he actually struggled a little bit with the goal line stuff as well, Josh and Hayden said, which is not what I'm hearing. Because like if you're not a strong goal line back, you don't have a strong receiving profile. And then he's terrible pass blocker. So it's like that's a lot of red flags for me, because the thing I do agree he could have great utility early season. That's like regardless it's a possibility. That's why I'm willing to take him, especially on teams that need running backs. Where I'm willing to take him, at that 106 spot. But if if he doesn't have receiving work, if he can't hit goal line carries, if Emmanuel Wilson or George Holani are chipping in and chiming in, like that is a disaster potentially of a pick. Especially if you were to take him over like an elite receiver. And then you have Charbonnet coming back. Here's the thing. We know how good Kenneth Walker is. We know how much we're valuing him right now. We saw what he did when Charbonnet was gone. The second Charbonnet is back, if he comes back, again, that is an if. I'm not going to weigh too much into this. But if he comes back...
He'll be back on one leg.
Yeah, if he comes back, though, like, okay. I mean, if they were holding K9 back with Charbonnet, I mean, like, I don't love that for Jadarian Price. So
that is a 2027 problem. Like, Charbonnet is basically a non-factor for all of 2026, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if you think he's not going to be back, I mean, maybe won't. But I'm just saying, like, I still think George Holani or whatever, Emmanuel Wilson. I mean, you like Emmanuel Wilson. Like, he's a sneaky guy. The Seahawks could be a weird team. Here's the thing, though. The reason I say George Holani is that his specialty is, like, the pass blocking, the receiving, stuff like that. Like, I mean, that's really all he does. Jadarian Price was, like, literally one of the worst in college at that. So he needs to just, like, I mean, you got to work on a lot to be, like, a back that pays off a 104, a 105 price tag, kind of suggesting. Like, that is a huge price tag, because you could just add a little bit. Or if you said you picked the 104, like I just saw Joshy trade the Jonathan Taylor for the 104. You can go get a literal elite running back right now that you want that production for. So like if your argument is like production right now, don't even risk it with Jadarian Price, in my opinion. Just go get Jonathan Taylor or James Cook or one of these other veteran running backs. Heck, go get Josh Jacobs and a good plus on top.
But I mean, the problem is, like, Jonathan Taylor, I mean, he's amazing, but, like, Daniel Jones is coming off a major injury. I don't know how that Colts offense is going to be early in the season. And the moment JT isn't producing elite numbers on an elite offense at his age, his value starts going down. Meanwhile, Price doesn't have to do, the threshold's much lower. I mean, if he just shows some flashes, has some, big games early, I mean, his value goes through the roof. Everybody wants him. I mean, he could be worth double what JT is worth after a few weeks if things go a certain way for each of those players. So, I mean, you were talking about value earlier. It's not just the production. I mean, it's the value as well. I mean, don't underestimate the value of a young running back in an awesome situation who's actually producing right away. That's going to be worth a lot, especially these days in Dynasty. And yeah, the thing is with these receivers, like, yeah, you could make the similar argument about Love, I guess. But with these receivers, like, I doubt, any of Tate, Lemon, Tyson are really going to help you like make your fantasy playoffs next season. I mean, they're long-term bets, right? I mean, you hope they get hot toward the end of the season and maybe at that point, they could help you in the fantasy playoffs, like win a championship. But these are long-term bets. Like, I mean, how much are they really going to do for you their rookie season? Like, did Ted McMillan, I'm sorry, why can't I talk? Ted McMillan, whatever his name is, did he help you win any championships last year? He really didn't. Now, Ted is awesome. I actually have 0 shares of him, which I hate because I need to get some. He's going to be an awesome player, but like he didn't help you win any championships his rookie season. I think Price could actually help you win a championship and actually get you into the fantasy playoffs his rookie season. And also think about this. This would be a good conversation. Maybe we could have it right now. In terms of just rookies, who are your top 3 rookies in redraft this year? Any position. Who are the first 3 rookies you are drafting in redraft this year? Have you thought about that at all?
No, yeah, I know. I definitely get this point too. Like, I mean, yeah, especially if you want to, do especially the early game. Like, if you want to go redraft, like, you don't want to draft rookie or players that like can't contribute to your lineup in redraft, of course, because you can get like other guys that can do that, or like an injured player or a suspended player or whatever. So yeah, I definitely Love probably will be a top player, but like it is also Dynasty. I know I want to play the market, but the thing is in the Dynasty market, you can there are other running backs. And again, like you look at Quinshon Judkins, I think he's very comparable to Quinshon Judkins. I mean, he's like literally like he's objectively is a worse running back prospect than Quinshon Judkins. But you see the similar things like the no receiving role. Now, okay, Quinshon Judkins does have a broken leg. You could just go get Quinshon Judkins, who you know is good. Also, I guess he's in a bad offense. But, like, he's already valued in that range. There are so many similar players there. There's Bucky Irving. You get Bucky Irving plus for the pick for Price.
Don't make me choose between Bucky and Price. I mean, that's just not fair. Yeah. I love both guys. But here's the decisive argument, Blake. You bring up, these top 3 receivers, which should be awesome in the long term. But, this coming season, they only give you value. But then, you bring up like a guy like JT. Well, he's only going to give you production. He's not going to give you value, So the receivers give you value this coming season, but not production. JT gives you production, but not value. Price gives you both.
Well, he's like he could give you both. You're just assuming he's going to give you production and value. Here's the thing: he needs to give you production.
It's reasonable to think he will give you both. It's
not he needs to give you production to pay off his price. He needs to. If he does not give you production, he will plummet in cost. Like that is the thing that you're overlooking right now.
But who's your second rookie in redraft this year?
So Love. I don't know. I haven't drafted on. I haven't drafted.
Price. I mean, who else could it be other than Price? There's nobody else. I mean, there's no way. I mean, are you taking Tate over Price in redraft?
I haven't drafted on Underdog, unfortunately. So I could see the argument just because he's a running back, and running backs are hard to come by. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I mean, from a redraft perspective, Price is basically, as far as I'm concerned, easily the second rookie off the board in redraft leagues, and. Yeah. With how we play Dynasty, we're playing the market and how the market overreacts and is prisoner of the moment. I think Price makes a lot of sense. Like he's going to be the second rookie in redraft, but yet you get him at the 105, 106, maybe even if you're lucky, 107 in rookie drafts. That is a steal in my mind.
I definitely play the market. The thing that you're definitely overlooking too is like these receivers are so insulated. It's not even funny. Like.
Oh, I don't doubt
they're
that.
So insulated. You know what I mean? Like, don't need to do anything. Like they're priced right now. The reason why they're actually obtainable is because people don't expect them to do anything, right? So
yeah, but I mean, have you noticed like every time you talk about these receivers, production never even enters the conversation. It's all just about value, and value's awesome. But like, I'm also trying to score points and win some money.
I know, but and they can do that too. It just like I'm not going to assume that any of those guys are league winners. Like you're assuming Price is a league winner. That's literally what you're doing.
No, I'm not assuming. I'm well.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're assuming it. Like,
I don't know if I want to put that on him, but I'm not assuming he's a league winner. I'm predicting he could help me win a championship.
Yeah, and I think those receivers can absolutely help me win a championship, like undoubtedly.
If they get hot. If they get hot.
Yeah, they're picked 4 and 8 and Lemon
Yeah.
who we dropped. Yeah, I mean they're really talented receivers, you know.
But they're probably not helping you get into the fantasy playoffs that much.
Maybe not as much as Price, but again, we're playing Dynasty. I do want to play the market, but again, there are many alternatives out there. Like again, just like they're running backs are hard to come by. I do think the biggest argument for Price of drafting him is like it could be hard to trade for running back in a league, so you might actually have to draft him. It might be easier to draft him than trade for one. Like that's
exactly.
my best
why
argument.
Randy and I just took Price over Lemon. I mean, it was a grueling decision, though. I'm not saying that is an easy decision whatsoever. I mean, we were ready to flip a damn coin. I mean, like Randy was slightly preferred Lemon, I slightly preferred Price. We couldn't decide. So, I mean, it really is close. So, like, if someone says, like, hey, I want to take Lemon over Price, I'm not going to be like, oh, you're crazy. Like, what are you thinking? Like, no, like, Lemon's awesome. Like, I love Lemon. So, like, no argument for me there, but I have them in the same tier. I got to put one over the other. So I got Price, a hair over Lemon, but all 3 of the top receivers and Price are all in the same tier for me. It just kind of depends on how you want to play things, what your priority is, what you value. I mean, if your league is active in trading, I'm probably leaning maybe more toward all 3 of the receivers over Price. If not, and you need a running back, they're all in the same tier for me. Price is probably the way I'm going there, at least over Lemon. It's a tougher call over, Tate and maybe even Tyson, whom I like quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting conversation. I mean, I definitely have my flag planted on Price. I'll be excited to see how it plays out, but I'm feeling confident in him.
Yeah, and undoubtedly, like, again, I still think he's good, like good running back objectively. Like he looks like a good running back. Again, just like when you look at the anatomy, especially if you want to gain value, again, like last thing I was like, if you want to gain value from where he's being valued already, like 105, 106, you need to be able to catch the football, or you need to be literally like lead the league in rushing kind of thing, like James Cook has been doing, right? So, he needs to be a complete outlier to like actually return like gain value. Like you might be drafting him at his like peak. And the thing with these receivers is again like we've seen with case over case over case over case. If you're unproductive, you can still hang on that value easily. If you are productive, holy crap! Like I mean, to go from like Buka to insert top name Jefferson or something at one point in the season might not have been very hard to do at all. Any hot receiver name. That shows anything in the rookie season. Again, Tet scored like 12 points per game, early third round starter pick. So, you just don't have to do much as a receiver to maintain, even gain value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, if value is your priority, those receivers have a lot of insulation.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, and then that goes to my strategy of why I'm definitely not like as high on Price. There's other ways to problem solve a running back. Like I just prefer that. And again, there's going to be injuries. Like what if Price got hurt? That's the thing too. Is like if Price gets hurt, like the whole bet of his production is down the drain. Whereas the receivers, if they just get an injury, it's like genuinely nothing happens to them. Like unless it's an ACL or something. And obviously, if Price ACL is over,
Price is still going to be running back with first round draft capital that people are still excited about. If he misses a few weeks with injury, that sucks. You wouldn't get as much trading him during that time. If you're a smart manager, you're not going to trade him and sell him low anyways. And as soon as he gets back healthy and goes back to doing what he does, if he's producing, people are going to go right back to being excited about him. I mean, like, imagine if Jeremiah Love gets hurt for a few weeks. Is that going to affect his value? Like, no. So, is Price Jeremiah Love? No, but it's a similar concept to a lesser degree.
Yeah, but then, hey, maybe you got Charbonnet come back. Because you have this window for Price, like, in my opinion, that first half of the season, like, that is going to be so important for his value. Like he needs to be scoring touchdowns. He needs to be, balling out to, like, keep that Price, pun intended there.
I don't know. I mean, like, people that owned Genty last year, like, was he helping you every week? Like, no, it wasn't always pretty. It was a bad situation. So
we were just talking about those top.
Were low, but
we were just talking about those top 10 running backs. Those guys are in their own, like, they can't even be competent.
I get that.
Yeah.
But let's move on from Price though. What do you want to talk about next? You want to talk about kind of like this late first round range a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we could. I guess I don't know. I don't know if I have much to say about Stowers and Cooper. Um, I don't know. I guess let's just say like the whole. Let's just talk more broad about the draft. The late first. If you can trade into from the second into the late first, and you do so
Yeah.
reasonably, do it. If you got questions, you can ask us right now or leave a comment in the video. Um, yeah, the big thing is in the second round, in my opinion, it can be terrible to have those early round or early second round picks. However, I do like having those much more than the late second round picks because especially I don't know, maybe as I'm going draft by draft, I see even less value fall. I see like my top
Yeah.
6 be other people's top 6
Yes.
more
Yeah.
and more,
Yeah.
which I hate. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and basically what's kind of solidifying here is like Jonah Coleman at the 201, Antonio Williams at the 202, and then 203 is usually
it's like any combination of Chris Bell, Stribling,
yeah.
uh,
Nick
Max
Singleton.
Clare.
Nick Singleton's going higher and higher, I
Yeah,
feel
Nick
like.
Singleton. He's going higher. Yeah, and there's this one other player we're forgetting. Another receiver.
Oh, Claire.
Bernard and Claire. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Bernard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does feel like it's solidifying pretty quickly. And yeah, that's really, really annoying. So yeah, I mean, I would also say just like how we're trying to trade from like the early second into the first if we can, also try to trade from the late second into the early second so you can get one of those like top 6 second round players there.
Yeah, you could read the market. If people are picking them correctly, get on up. I would be willing to like pay basically 2 late seconds to get into the early second, as long as hopefully you can get like a 4th back or something.
Yeah.
Because
right.
what's happened in a lot of my drafts is like I have like the 310, and I'm getting like a player every single time that goes in the second round, which seems like every single time. So it's like
right.
If you have a late third, if you make a trade 2 late seconds for a mid second where you can get in that tier of players you like, you
Right.
get this late third or early 4th. Like you're actually the only pick that matters is the second, is the highest second.
Right.
I'm getting Elijah Surratt at like the 3-4 turn. I'm getting Eli Raritan at the 3-4 turn. Like there's always someone that falls that's higher.
Yeah, exactly. So honestly, like there's like very little difference between like the 212 that you gave away in the deal and the player you're getting at like the 312 or 401 because people made stupid picks ahead of you and a guy falls to you that you would have happily taken in the late second, early third if you had to.
Yeah, that's happening every single draft. So, I mean, it's probably the biggest takeaway I would say for people is, well, actually get a lot of thirds, get a lot of early 4ths. Once you get to the late 4th, everything is mostly cleaned up. But you will still see from time to time, some nice value in that late 4th.
Heidenreich. I can't believe how much I'm getting Heidenreich in like the late 4th, like every rookie draft. It's crazy. And I thought he was going to be such a hot, trendy player. I mean, I guess getting the 7th round draft capital kind of killed him, and maybe just a lot of people are just out on him now. But like, I don't care. I mean, it's actually a great landing spot for him, which sounds nuts because man, he's got Jalen Warren and Rico Dottle ahead of him. Like, how the hell is he ever gonna start or even like necessarily make the team? That could be a legitimate question. But if he does make the team, could he potentially become the Kenneth Gainwell for Aaron Rodgers? I mean, that was such a cheat code, such a PPR scam last year. So if he can somehow weasel his way into that kind of role, that could be really interesting. And he's just a fun, awesome player. I mean, I don't know. I guess he went to Navy, so that's why he went in the 7th round. But just watch this guy. I mean, he looks like, discount CMC. I mean, he really does when you watch him.
Yeah, he is one of the smartest, probably like 4th round, especially late 4th round picks right now. And the reason why, this is one thing I am trying to consider when drafting is, do any of these guys have a potential to get like, that fan favorite and like training camp buzz? He is totally the player.
Yeah, the Scatabo factor, right?
Yeah, that and the training camp buzz. Like he is totally a player to get the training camp buzz, and then people love him, so it's like multiplying. I mean, you just never know. So I think he's just like a really free pick in the 4th round, Heidenreich. And honestly, that's the funny thing. I don't know if people expected him to get like drafted way earlier or something, it was going to be a win if he got drafted at all. So he did get drafted.
Right.
That's a win. Yeah, it was the seventh round, but oh well. So yeah, I think he's a really fun fourth round pick. Again, you could we basically have him. I think they're not technically in tier. We actually have him ahead of Randall and McGowan, just for like X factor purposes. You just never know, and people will get much more excited about Heidenreich if anything ever happens over those other running backs I mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I think another topic that deserves some discussion. What is exactly? How would you define like the let's call it the exchange rate between 26 picks and 27 picks?
Ooh.
Because obviously the 27 picks are more valuable. And so the thing that I'm running into is that, and I kind of expected this going in, that like if you have like the 205 and you want to move off of it, you're just praying someone give you like a 27 second for that 205.
Yeah.
Whereas like in past years, you could often trade like the 211, 212 and get it like a random first like the following year. But now rather than being like a late second to get a random second in the future, now it has to be like basically like an early second. And you're hoping you get a random second the following year, with, that being 27 in this case. But now even in some cases, you might even have to add to that. So like, what's the most you're willing to add? Like, let's say you're in one of these leagues where you acquired like way too many 26 picks. You don't even have like roster room to make all these damn picks. Because I find myself in that exact situation in multiple leagues here.
Yeah.
What are you willing to add to like, and just using this as an example, it could be just about any round, 2 through 4. What are you adding to like the 205 or, well, let's say third round just to make it maybe a little easier, because I know there's still some players in that early second that you like. What are you adding to the 305 to get a random 27 third or even late projected 27 third?
Don't even need to. I made that deal twice today. Or what? At least once today. I have been seeing people make those deals though. If it wasn't me, the thirds and fourths. I traded like the 404 into a 27 fourth projected early. I traded, the 305 or 306 or something into a third. So and I got the 411 back in that deal. That was with Andrew and I. I told them, hey, I'm moving it back a year. I gotta get that 411 on top.
Man.
To be fair, it was Skylar Bell who the guy was crazy about, who he thought should have been a second round pick. So
yeah, I mean, sometimes you get that guy who just like gotta have that one player that's on the clock, and he's willing to make a bad deal, and he probably knows it, but he doesn't care. I mean, that's still gonna happen. People are still human beings. They're gonna make stupid decisions, but a lot more often, like I'm running into managers that, They know the 27 class is a lot better. Like they know this class is pretty questionable, rounds 2 through 4. And so like, what's the most you're willing to pay? If you really desperately need to move off picks, are you willing to send, like, let's say like your favorite players in the early second are gone and you really need to move off picks. Are you willing to send like the 205 and the 407, to get a later random 27 second?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, I mean, if you can do that, just do that. There's only one player, by the way, in the second round that's consensus second round. Assuming, in our rankings, we'll see our top 12. But it's like Boston and stuff at the end. There's only one player I would pay a 27 second for right now. You know who that is?
Jonah Coleman.
That's the only player I would care to value as a 27 second. Like clearly, like I don't know. I've been getting more excited about Jonah Coleman the more I think about it, because I actually think he's easily the most valuable in that backfield now. And just putting production aside, I think he has the most likely outcome of like being the guy going into next year that people get excited about, basically.
Yeah, and I mean I'm seeing him even get like pushed up to like the 111, like 112 in some leagues. So he's kind of getting steamed up. I'm actually starting to buy into it a little bit. Like I'm really not like crazy about him as a player, but he just kind of seems to make a lot of sense. And I highly recommend everyone check out the recent video from Fantasy Stock Exchange. It was I think it's called like running backs to target and avoid in rookie drafts. One of the best Dynasty videos I've seen in a while. So shout out to them. I really, really enjoyed it. It really got me excited about this running back class, which has not been getting very much love. And, for some legitimate reason, like these running backs got horrible draft capital overall. There aren't a ton of prospects that most people are really excited about, but I think there's some value to be had. And Corey, or Bush as he's called on Fantasy Stock Exchange, he made some really great cases for some of these running backs. A lot of the running backs that we like, such as Coleman, Singleton, Katron Allen, Claiborne, Heidenreich. I mean, just watch this video. You'll be surprised like how excited you are about taking some chances on these running backs.
Mhm.
I definitely think there are some sneaky guys there, and I think some of these guys are going to hit and definitely gain value. And I think that's. I mean, maybe I'm just overreacting to the video, but it kind of has me rethinking some of my rookie drafts a little bit and wanting to prioritize running back, maybe even a little more than I even have been already.
Yeah, I would say at least so far right now. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I've been in a little more in line like where you're trending, because I've been coming up with a lot of running backs. I actually
Okay.
just try to not take receivers basically.
Yeah.
I only take a receiver if I'm forced to take Malachi Fields at the 402 because he's just there. And if Elijah Surratt's at the 310, okay, I'll take him there.
Right.
And Skylar Bell in the third, I'll take him there because
Yeah.
I'll take these guys only when they're at their cheapest. That is the only time I'll take the receiver.
Right.
Maybe I'll take a Jacoby Lane at 405 because he keeps falling down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, basically, you should take our rankings with a grain of salt when you're actually drafting, especially in a lot of leagues. Like we've incorporated kind of what we're seeing the trends ADP of how you can expect them to be drafted. If you're personally drafting in a lot of leagues, maybe you want to push those running backs, tight ends up because you will have receivers fall to you in these drafts. That's kind of how I've been playing, in terms of the rankings.
Yeah.
So
Also, I wanted to say, if you're in a 10-team league, I'm probably valuing running backs even a little more compared to a 12-team league. Also, if a league is bigger than 12 teams, if it's like 14 teams, 16 teams, now you're really pushing up the value of running backs. You really want to consider taking them earlier. And also, we just had a question in our Discord tonight, which you should absolutely join, by the way. Great place to get questions answered, talk Dynasty with a lot of other really smart and passionate people. So I highly recommend it. It's completely free. The link is in our description, so definitely check that out. But we had someone in our Discord tonight ask about a trade they were considering making in their rookie draft. And basically it was about like whether they should like trade up to the 206, I believe it was, and take Jeremy Bernard. And like, hey, like, we like Jeremy Bernard, the 206, like that's a solid value in most leagues. But the thing I noticed is it was a half PPR league. In a half PPR league, you have to value running backs more because receivers aren't getting the full the same advantage because they're only getting half point per catch instead of a full point. So it really makes receivers quite a bit less impactful, more than you might expect even. So that really makes running backs more valuable. They tend to score more touchdowns. Touchdowns matter a lot more in a half PPR. They impact your, scoring a lot more. So I told him, like, yeah, you might want to consider trading up to 206, but in this format, not for Bernard, you probably want to think about Katron Allen there, especially looking at the board and seeing how quickly these running backs are just like evaporating, going much earlier than normal leagues. So that's the kind of league where I might just gamble on Katron Allen at the 206. I might even consider Claiborne in like the mid to late second in a league like that. I really don't think that's crazy at all. I'm getting higher and higher on Claiborne. You've been talking me into it. I love what Fantasy Stock Exchange had to say about him as well. So I'm pretty pumped about him at this point. And but yeah, you really got to know your format. And but yeah, I mean that's something that we definitely focus on. Like those details are very important. That's why we're always asking, like when someone asks about a trade, like what's the format, what's the scoring for this and that. But yeah, Discord's definitely a great place to ask those questions. But definitely be tuned into your format because it can make a big difference on which players you want to target in these drafts.
For sure, yeah. Especially you're in half premium versus a full point tight end premium, full PPR. Like
massive
the
difference.
ranking should be night and day.
Oh yeah.
The higher your tight end premium, again, you're gonna see these guys like Raritan, Delp, Justin Jolly for me is a big one. Talking about guys that can basically the tight end room is wide open. You know, can he
Right.
be budget Harold Fannin, or I would say maybe more of a could he be more of like a Gadsden is more what Justin Jolly is. You know, the later round tight end,
Mhm.
good offense, wide open room for tight end. That's a profile I'm pretty interested in getting into. Yeah, respect your tight ends and those tight end premiums. Now, if you're in half PPR, I'm gonna be honest, like you probably shouldn't be drafting the tight ends at all. They're not really gonna matter. So,
I mean, unless like, I mean, if it's a half PPR but half tight end premium, then in that case, I mean, the tight ends are scoring double per reception compared to, wide
yeah,
receiver. So it's not going to have quite the same impact as like a 1.0 tight end premium would to a half point, but it would still make them a little interesting. But yeah, if it's half PPR and no tight end premium, then yeah, I really don't care about tight ends all that much.
yeah, that's probably like the rarest breed of league. Like I think you're in one of those. Like the
Yeah,
half.
I am in one league that's that, which
That
is
might be the
why I
only
keep in
like
mind.
league like that. I've never even heard of anything like that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, when you take over free orphans, you never know what you're gonna get, but you just gotta roll with it.
Yeah, because like half point, like the people that do half PPR right now in Dynasty in 2026,
Yeah,
they're the kind of people that hate tight end premium. You know
right,
what I mean?
exactly.
So it's like, yeah, that's such
Yeah,
a strange
it's kind
league.
of it's a rare combination for sure.
Yeah. Oh, we got Aiden in here says where are we taking Heidenreich? We actually were just talking
Yeah,
in pretty pretty good detail about Heidenreich. Aiden, what I will say, let's not spoil this, Aiden, if we can. If we can be, I don't know, good businessmen here. We're having a Dynasty rankings video that's already edited. It's ready to be uploaded in the morning. You can see exactly where we would take Heidenreich tomorrow.
and go back and watch the replay. We were just talking
Yeah.
about him, had a whole conversation about him. Yeah, so definitely check that out. Yeah, and I think we're talking about some really great things in this video. I mean, like or in this stream, because like in the video that's coming out in the morning, we didn't want it to be too long, so we were trying to be like concise and not blab on and on too much. But what I love about this stream tonight is we're really going into a lot more detail about a lot of the things that we kind of had to cut short in the rankings video. So I would say watch it in this order. Like watch the tomorrow morning. Like watch our rankings video, and then when you're done with that, then watch this stream from the beginning. And it's kind of like expanding on a lot of the things that we talked more briefly about in the rankings video.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, Aiden, and hey, man, yeah, make sure you're subbed to see that video. Yeah, we have been doing, as I talked about at the beginning of this stream, we are in a bunch of leagues. We've been doing a bunch of rookie drafts. We're in a bunch of rookie drafts right now. And we incorporate that, which I don't know that other people will exactly do that. Other creators will exactly do that in the rankings. They might just strictly be ranking off of their evaluations.
Right.
And I do think that's pretty dangerous. And if there was a year to do that, I will say it's probably this year. But we are all about value. We're all about, just maximizing your returns, especially, you're going to need to if you have a lot of picks this year. So we incorporate
play the market.
Yeah, we incorporate that into our rankings, and it really gives you a good idea of what you could expect in a typical league, at least a typical league that, I don't know, maybe that we're in where it's like, start 10, start 11, tight end premium. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We probably shouldn't go on too much longer here. I do have to wake up pretty early in the morning, but is there anything else, Blake, that you want to talk about tonight before we wrap up? And of course, if anyone watching has any last minute questions here tonight, now would be the time to ask them for sure.
Yeah, I would just say, I know it's again, we've talked about plenty in the video. It is a terrible rookie class. Everyone knows that. Everyone said it. It doesn't need to be said again, as I just did. But thirds and fourths, you were saying, what would you add to get a third in the next year? Like, to me, like, a third's a third, man. Like, I can't be convinced that a third next year is just, like, it's going to be a Hall of Famer. Like, there's going to be Puka in there. Like, dude, there's a lot of good guys in the third that I'm seeing. Here's the thing. The third this year might be more valuable, would be my argument. And the reason why is because there are people in the third here that could easily be drafted in the second every single time.
Yeah.
this year. Whereas like normally you only get a third round player in the third, especially at the back of the third. Whereas I'm getting guys ranked in my second round this year
Right.
at the 312. So I would almost argue that the third this year could be worth more.
Yeah,
Willing to say
I
that.
get what you're saying. It's probably more applicable to the second round, because
Yeah.
that's what I face in a trade negotiation tonight, where I need to move off some of my 26 picks. I have 11 of them, and I definitely don't have 11 players I can drop on this roster.
Mm-hmm.
I have maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 at most I could drop. So I need to move off like 5 picks here just to get under the roster limit by the end of the rookie draft. So I need to move off picks. So I was on the clock at the 205, and the other manager was interested in the pick, but he wouldn't give me his 27-second for it. So I basically offered to add. I think, I think I didn't even like try to add like a fourth this year. He seemed to value the 27 class. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I'll give you a 27 pick then. So I offered him the 205 and, a mid projected 27 fourth for his 27 second. Now, I think that makes more sense, trading off of the early second rather than the early third, because then you get a 27 second, which if it ends up early, now you really have a real asset on your hands.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, unless Jonah Coleman's there, I'm happy to just trade away any second, basically for a 27 second. I'm not gonna overthink it. And again, are you gonna be able to do that in a lot of leagues? Probably not. I actually should try that more because I've just assumed no one's gonna do that.
Right.
I've just wanted
But yeah,
to. I've already moved on to like the other alternate options
yeah.
out there. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess everyone will have their own values. If you can flip a 26 into a 27, yeah, no brainer. Probably everyone's telling you to do that. I would, again, I will say though, Jonah Coleman, I wouldn't do it if it was Jonah Coleman.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
He's my Jadarian Price, I suppose. But I
Okay.
like him so
Yeah.
much more because like he's just like so much cheap. I don't have to like take him over like a superstar top 10, or whatever, a top first round receiver that I really like. I'm getting Jonah Coleman for peanuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes in the mid second. So I really like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that Coleman could be a better value. I mean, I still love me some Price, but I get the appeal of Coleman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think like you might laugh at this. I think if Jonah Coleman were to actually get like let's just say one of those running backs goes down, I think. Or let's say okay, let's here's the scenario. Let's fast forward to like week 15. You're in the fantasy playoffs. J.K. Dobbins is out. He's down. Zach Charbonnet's 5-6 weeks back. He's close to 2 months back. I think there's a chance personally that at least Jonah Coleman would be either a better or a similar running back in a scenario like that where they're both having to deal with another back. But the thing is that like one of them doesn't catch passes, one of them's not going to be out there for the receiving stuff. Also, Charbonnet was trusted as the goal line back, which is interesting because that was like one thing about Price. Again, I'm not going to go into all that. It's just one thing to note though on Price that wasn't a strength of his apparently. Whereas Jonah Coleman is just a very trusted receiver, blocker, all that stuff. So one interesting thing, if you can't get your hands on Price in a dynasty league, Jonah Coleman's like your only hope to like, I don't know, maybe like get in that realm year one with an injury or something like that. Like the other guys are just like complete long shots that you can draft and be excited about. But like, yeah, Jonah Coleman's just like that middle ground where I think you could still tap into that upside with a profile.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I just don't think he's like a fraction of the player that Jadarian Price is. But I mean, that's somewhat subjective, I guess.
And that's the thing, right? Is like in fantasy running backs, sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with talent. It's like you just need to catch passes. Like that's literally all you need to do and score touchdowns.
Yeah, it's possible. And who knows? I mean, maybe Coleman's a better player than I think. But yeah, most of the reasons why I like Coleman like don't even really have to do with like how good or bad of a player he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more like the situation, lack of better options. He got decent draft capital, going to a somewhat open backfield, good offense. It's just kind of like a lot of like external things. But I mean, for what it's worth, like this fantasy stock exchange video I'm talking about, they are crazy high on Coleman.
Okay.
I mean, they basically, like, based on like their model and everything, prospect model, they basically determined that there's like I'm trying to remember the exact number, but it was like an absurdly high number, like a 65% chance that Coleman's going to have an RB1 finished season in his career.
Okay.
Now, I don't know exactly how the hot dogs are made and how they came up with that, but I mean, I've watched a lot of their content over the years. They know what they're talking about. It seems like they have a good model based on good statistics and metrics that correlate with success. They know what they're doing. So that's not something I'm just going to easily dismiss. So, I mean, that got my attention when I watched that video. And they really made a great case for Coleman. So I definitely felt I was already kind of trending up on him, starting to come around on him. But after watching that video, like, yeah, I'm probably ready to draft him at the 201 at this point.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out, and probably how they got there. Again, just the awesome receiving profile, one of the best in this class. So if not the best in this class, so like.
Okay, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, no, yeah, like I think there is another running back that might have a better one. Oh, it's Heidenreich. that's what it is. It's Heidenreich.
Yeah, doesn't Singleton have a pretty good receiving profile, or am I making that up?
Singleton does, yeah, but he's just like a brutal runner. Like he's not good at running the football. So, but he's a fun player.
The word on Singleton is like questionable vision, and
yeah.
Actually, I mean, Bush on Stock Exchange even said that his vision like even got worse like as his college career went on. He said like it was like at its worst in his final year. So that's kind of bizarre. Like how does your vision get worse? Like that's crazy. But
yeah. The more I learned about Singleton, the less I was interested into him. But he does have traits I like.
Actually, Fantasy Stock Exchange loves Singleton. Like you got to hear the case they made for him. Like I'm pumped about like rolling the dice on Singleton now. So you got to watch this video. It's honestly one of the best Dynasty videos I've seen in a while.
Interesting. We'll do. Yeah, I haven't clicked a Singleton yet. So.
And he's neither have I, but I was planning on taking him in Bums and Ballers, and I freaking get sniped on him by one pick. I mean, I was madder than a hornet's nest. So
maybe everyone's seen this video because I mean, I think I actually saw him go. What was it? 113. I saw him go.
Okay.
I was loving it because that helped Jonah Coleman slip to me.
I mean, I don't think it's crazy. I mean, especially in that particular league. I used to be in that league, and I know running backs are highly valued in that league. So I get it. I don't think it's nuts. I mean, I probably wouldn't take him quite there, but I definitely get it.
Interesting. By the way, do you have a quick 1 or 2 sentence summary of like why? I'm just so interested now. What could possibly be the Singleton case? Is it that he catches the football and he's going to be the only back on the Titans next year?
It's not just that. I mean, it's more that like basically Bush said that he's a 5-star prospect coming out of high school. And he said that his freshman season was like unreal. Yeah, he basically said that if he entered the NFL after his freshman season, he would have been like drafted where like Jeremiah Love was like drafted basically. Yeah. It would have been like insane. So and just like just his upside that if he can get back to that and being in a basically a wide open backfield. And also, it seems that their prospect model really likes Singleton, and it basically put him in some kind of like upside range where, basically the argument was that like he has one of the highest ceilings of not just any running back, but like any player in this class. And in a questionable draft class like this, just roll the dice on this guy, even if it's unlikely to hit. On the off chance that it does. You could really hit a home run with them.
Yeah, okay. I'll definitely have to, I mean, we got him pretty high in the rankings, or at least, I think he's the next guy out of the tier. So, again, maybe you could argue he should be in that tier then.
I mean, again, like, this video was just like, I don't know, maybe it was too well done. It was honestly just so persuasive. I wasn't even expecting it. But, I mean, I'm ready to, like, push Singleton in that early second at this point.
Yeah, if you want to say you want to put them all ahead of a bunch of receivers and stuff, that's fine. I mean, again, like there's just so many receivers in this class.
Exactly. Like I mean, if I lose, Jeremy Bernard, okay, then I'll get Chris Brazzell later or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's honestly even that much of a difference,
Yeah, I can see that for just pushing a running back over the receiver. Again, even Antonio Williams, like I like Antonio Williams, but what if they get Brandon Ayuk? That's why I would rather take a 27-second over Antonio Williams, even though he was about my
Yeah.
202 right now.
Yeah. So I definitely got to get some Singleton. I also got to get some Katron Allen. I mean, Katron Allen was like one of my favorite sleepers, like before the NFL draft. And although he didn't get the draft capital, he's going to a great wide open situation, and I can see him being really sneaky. I mean, he could be this year's JCM, you know, on
but
the
actually
Commanders.
good, maybe.
Yeah, and Fantasy Stock Exchange, they like him quite a bit as well. They basically think, and I mean, yeah, this is probably not that big of a controversial opinion, but they basically just said that Katron Allen is a far better prospect than JCM ever was. Yeah. So if like JCM could do it on the Commanders, why the hell could Katron Allen not do it? So yeah, I mean, I'm liking a lot of these running backs a lot more after watching that video. So definitely check that out. It's called like running backs to target and avoid. Just thought it was phenomenal video. I'm really excited about these running backs now. So yeah, I definitely got to get more shares of these like deeper running backs after Love and Price. That's gonna be a priority for me for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, let's wrap up the stream here. Definitely drop us a like on your way out if you would be so kind. And yeah, make sure you're subbed. I mean, this is the place to be if you love Dynasty. You want to get a competitive edge. We think about this stuff way too much. And yeah, we're gonna give you every advantage we possibly can. But yeah, this was a super fun stream. Anything else, Blake, you want to say before we sign off here? Definitely join the Discord. It's free. It's in the description. Anything else you want to add?
I'd say closing thoughts would simply be, after this discussion, yeah, definitely push those running backs up. Even in our rankings, push them up. The rankings are there to give you as a tool.
Right.
Push running backs up though, because how many receivers there are that are falling, and they're all so questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll get receivers, especially if you're in multiple leagues.
Yeah, you get sniped on one. There are 20 more that you can take. So don't even worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, try to get some running backs. Yeah, and again, just leave a comment if you guys have a question. That is all that I got.
Yeah, and if you have any other questions after the stream's over, definitely drop them in the Discord. A lot of smart people there. And yeah, we answer questions in there as well. So great place to be to get your questions answered. Talk Dynasty. But yeah, good stream.